Okay, so today I have this tiny 5x5 what is called pitch cave door. I don't really know exactly the name for this door, but anyways, so it's 11 by 11 by 5. Uh, it's currently the world's smallest. I mean, because this door isn't that popular, no one actually did it. I saw a post from r/qualityredstone and I decided to build it myself and I got this. So this door has a big disadvantage, that is that it opens and closes in half a minute because of the piston tape above, as you can see. But to fit in this size, basically a piston tape is necessary. I am currently working on a piston tapeless door for this one, but it is actually quite challenging, so I don't know if I'm going to get it. So it's seamless and full flush, as said in here. And yeah, the special thing about this door is not only is full flush like this, but it's also got this block here. So basically this door is a 7 wide door, but due to the flush pistons, it makes it from a 7 wide door to a 5 wide door, which is quite interesting, and I honestly never saw any kind of door that would act like this. So this is the first one that I ever saw, and it was built by me, and I'm quite glad that I did that. So I'm going to do a tutorial as well as part of the explanation of this door. And I'm not going to do a full explanation, mainly because the bottom uses quite a lot of concepts from my 7x7 cave door, and you can check that video out. I highly suggest it because literally the circuits are just taken from the 7x7 cave door and are modified to work in this door. So yeah, go ahead and watch that, and yeah, now let's get on to the tutorial. So here are the materials you need, and I just realized that you need more materials than that because of this minecart. So these are the items you would need for the cauldrons. You need the water buckets, you need two. And for a hopper room that's going to control the piston tape, you would need 3 stacks and 10 snowballs, or items that stack up to 16. And for the placing of this minecart, you would basically need uh, I don't know, slabs, fences, and rails. So yeah, go ahead and prepare that as well. So these are materials you need. Screenshot if you need to, or just pause the video. And yeah. So the total length for this door is 11, height 11 as well, and the width is 5. So you need 2 blocks for under the floor to work with, and 2 blocks on the top, 2 blocks from each side. Yep. So now let's build the piston layout. And not gonna lie, I'm going to forget some pistons always, but we'll add them if we need them. Oops. Hang on. There we go. So for the bottom, it's quite similar to the 7x7 cave as suggested just now. We want 3 pistons here, single piston extenders. We want 3 double piston extenders here. So you can already see it's quite similar. And a folded triple again. So nothing special here. And once again, these singles, I always forget them. I don't know why. Oh, no. I do forget them because they are on the side. I'm sorry. So yeah, once again, we're going to have the folded double for the flush pistons, because you know there's two white space for the side, two white space for the bottom, and you basically need a folded double to make it work. So yeah, nothing special. the exact same layout basically, or the exact same concepts from my 7x7 cave. So nothing particularly special. So for side pistons, you want this, I think. I don't remember. Oh, you don't want this top here. This is different. This is not a cave door. I'm sorry. Uh, this, alright. So yeah, this is quite special. You want these pistons here, and the piston layout is kind of weird. That's mainly because we need to have the piston tape for the top. So you can see there's a double here, even though it actually just controls this block. But we need a double here basically because the top would use the entire layer for the blocks basically. It would just basically have a slider thingy. I don't know how you say that, but yeah, just bear that in mind. And that's also the reason why we're using this kind of layout. It's really strange to work with, but it's not that bad. So yeah, 3 doubles, remember, and they are all diagonally placed, I mean. Yeah, the top layout is the most complicated one. Well, not really that complicated, but working with it is kind of weird. So I never tried this thing before, so kind of new experience, I would say. So you want this glass already. This glass can be any block, any ordinary block, transparent, solid. Yeah. So if you want this here, you want a single extent here. This is to accommodate for this piston when it needs to push this block out. So this is the special thing for this door. And the piston tape, because we need to basically have this piston on this level. And because this is right at the center, we need to push 3 blocks, which a folded triple would work, but it's just not that easy to work with. So I decided to work with a piston tape, which should be like this piston here. And for this side, since we have the slider here already, we need to hold this, push this back. Yep. Is that it? Hopefully. Let me check. Yeah, should be it. I'll add pistons if I left out any of those. Did I actually add that? No, I didn't. This door uses a leave input. I mean, it's quite standard now for my doors like this. Usually my doors involve a lever layout. So, anyways, so yeah, we're just going to go straight ahead into building the bottom, and I'm not going to provide too much information on that because for those of you who watch my 7x7 cave, you basically know how this works. So yeah, I'm not going to go into detail. We're just going to build this. So this is the power line. Basically, there's a bunch of hoppers, observers, you know those, like so. Clear my inventory because it's kind of messy. Dust. Sorry, I'm going to just get my materials from here. Comparator. Okay, let me just get a dropper here. Yeah, good. So dust here. Yeah, no dust here. Oh, I don't know if this should be counted as the piston layout, but we need 2 obsidian. 1 in here, 1 in here. The only difference for this bottom is basically the bottom triple, because the triple only has a fairly quite a small space to work with, because this is 5 long, you see, and we only have 2 white space here, and maybe this door frame block. So especially because we have this butter dropper double, and this makes it extremely hard to work with. I did find out a way to do that, luckily. So we're just going to go straight ahead into the triple, I guess, because we're already here. So the standard vortex again, nothing special. And then the standard updater piston, but this time we can't do this. The reason why we can't is quite simple. This will update this dropper here. We don't want to update this dropper. This is spotted. We can't update it. So instead, this piston will face the observers here. And yeah, let me just get a piston. So it's going to be a piston here for this side, and then observer facing into this piston. Yeah. Right. So now we need the double pulse here, as suggested, or as you know, from my 7x7 cave. Retake here. This is going to do a double pulse. Any double pulse works. It just needs to have the correct amount of delay. This delay is quite nice because imagine the piston is here. When this piston pushes this observer, it would not power this piston, but it would go straight up because of the delay. The delay is fast enough such that this pushes up directly. We don't have to wait for this piston to extend because we don't really have space for the delay, so we just need to get it fast. And you might be wondering, how are we going to power this piston? Well, this is much related to an circuit, and seriously, the bottom triple doesn't even control it. It is from another circuit, and this is also the circuit we are controlling. This specifically, this piston. We need to pull this. Right. Place these dots here because I will always forget them. And now the cool part comes in. 2 sticky pistons here, and a cauldron. These are the cauldrons we are going to use, and yep, they are all at the bottom. This will pull this cauldron. Oh, come on! I'm sorry. That is bad. What happened? Yeah, never mind. Oh, must be because of this water spilling into here. Anyways, so don't do that. No, facing down. Come on. There we go. Cauldron. Yeah, this cauldron will. Oh, don't lag, please. Thank you. This comparator. It will just basically power it. Yeah. This pulling down will unpower this, and if you know the sequence, yes, we are going to just basically power this with 3 observers like this. You all know it if you were to watch the 7x7 cave door. It just uses a similar fashion, but in a different way. I think my 6x6 cave with slime blocks also uses this kind of concept similarly, but there is a few differences. So comparator here. This is the thing we're going to control. So this is quite special. Basically, we're just going to pull this piston down. This cauldron down, and it will basically power this piston already before this gets to power. That's why we need obsidian here, by the way. Yeah. So after this powers, basically, then this will power, and then this will update this piston and send this piston through, and then go up, and it would be pulled back up by the sides actually, which we are going to do it now. Okay, let's do it now. Go straight to the sides basically. 2 4-degree pieces. They must be 2 4-degree pieces because for the delay. This delay is quite annoying to get it because there will be occasions because this cauldron basically retracts up too fast, and this is the maximum delay, and this is the minimum delay. And why I said the minimum delay? Let me think. I actually don't remember. Oh, don't do that. I forgot. Don't worry. It just has to be that delay. So same thing for this side. Torch towers. It will mess up the pistons a bit, but don't worry, we're going to fix it. Anyways. Good. Okay, so one thing you might notice is this cauldron here. Now, what happens is, basically, when this falls down, this is going to retract, but you will see, oh jeez, I need to, never mind, let me just get a redstone block and then one ticket. Oh. So, you can see that pushes down and up. So, if you were to know why, simple, this is because of this observer powering this block, butting this piston, and it will actually power it, and then it would go down and then go back up. So this works basically. It still works, don't worry. The reason why is quite simple. When this pulls back up, it only has a half tick to be here. This comparator cannot power, and then it will sorry, and then it would get butted and then push back down, and yeah, it pushes back down and then it pulls back up because nothing's updating it, so it won't do a one tick. Same story for here. This comparator, it would pull up and then it only stays here for a half tick and then it pushes down. Now, when it pushes down, it would ordinarily going to power this comparator, yet it's not going to. The reason is exactly the same. It only stays here for another half a tick, so it just can't power, basically. Yep. Now I finally remember why this has to be this delay. The reason for that is kind of weird, actually. When this piston pulls this observer, it actually derps. It basically pulls this observer to here, and then it pushes back again, and then pulls back again. And we can't just leave this here. The reason for that is when this observer goes to here, it would basically power this block. And when this piston is pushed to here, it's going to butt it. And this is extremely bad because it would just basically do a one tick. So imagine piston here. It would just basically do a one tick, go here. And then the pulse that is supposed to power this piston, now it will power the bottom piston again. And then do a 1.5 tick, I think, or 2 tick, maybe, I don't know. It just pushes and pulls the piston back. and we don't want that. We want it to power the top piston instead of the bottom one. So we just need more delay here to make it work. And yeah, basically we can't have too much delay. If we have too much delay, then this is not going to pull, if that makes sense, because this is separate, and I can't really control the delay. I can only add as much repeaters as this and then have 8 ticks. So it needs to be enough delay for this to pull. Well, I mean, yeah, for this to pull. And where am I going to? Yeah, it just needs to have a suitable amount of delay. I always forgot what I wanted to say. I'm sorry. So I'll try to explain it later, maybe, because I do eventually remember stuff after I do a couple of things. 40k, block dust. This is going to connect, don't worry, just block it. We need to block it anyways. Is there blocking? No, there isn't. Okay, so this is quite interesting. We can see that this vortex is firing this dust. That's just to refire this. And then, since we don't want this observer pulse to go through, we're just going to have a comparison. So it will only go through this dust. There we go. That's where it's actually powering. This vortex will power this comparator, but this dust, one ticket, will not power this comparator, because comparators cannot receive one-tick pulses. It can receive one-tick pulses from observers, but only if there is like a repeater or a comparator in front of it, such that it can power due to update order thingies. And I'm not going to go in detail. And here we don't have this vortex going down, so we just have a repeater here. So quite funny. Right, so this is basically everything. Just kidding. We still have to, first we have to power these pistons. This one. And second, we need to power the double. So we don't have much space to work with. You know what? I'll just rip off these glass. Because why not? I might replace them later. So dropper there. This will get power from this dust. 3 servers like this. Yep, and I forgot to place a repeater here. This is annoying. I'll just use some cool tricks, I guess. Torch. This is such that the repeater is facing this way. So set it on 3 or 4. We need 7 ticks of delay in total. Doesn't matter for the order. We just need 7. 7 is quite important because the double will actually update this, and updating this is fine except for some particular delay. In a particular delay, it would just mess up the folder double in a certain way, and we don't want that. So now get ready for your resin block, because we're going to butt this. But there we go. Should be fine. Let me see if I have placed a repeater. For here, exactly the same. Just going to rip this off. Dropper. Yeah. If you're intending to build this, then you should actually build this first. Don't build the bottom triple first, or you just need to use this kind of weird stuff to get your repeaters. 3 ticks, and observer facing down. Torch again. 4 ticks. 7 tick of delay in total. kind of hard to see, I'm not gonna lie. Dropper again, standard double, standard dropper, but a dropper double. I finally remember how to explain this. So we need enough delay such that let me see. We need less delay so that this can grab as little as possible so that this can grab. Because if this fires late, then this observer will stay here, basically. But this fire is too early, basically. We need enough delay such that the derping of this will not affect it, because the derping of this actually affects the timing. So we need more delay because of this pulse firing too early, and we need less delay because we need this observer to grab after this retracts. Yeah, there we go. Finally remember how to explain this, if that makes any sense at all. I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense. Right, so now we're going to do the top, or actually we're just going to finish the sides first. We haven't really finished it because, you know, these pistons, they haven't extended yet. The problem is we need to power these fast enough so that when the pistons are here, they can extend this. We need to power it fast enough, but we need them to be slow enough so that this can grab these. Basically, this single is not just a single, it's also controlling the double retraction, because you see here, this torch and this thing, this observer, is going to do an extension, but it's not going to do a retraction, if that makes sense. And yep, it just needs enough delay. And yep, again, the similar case here. We need enough delay, and we don't want that much delay either. So it's quite simple for the solution. Just do this. Definitely, it will power the piston tape, but that doesn't affect anything. Same thing for here. Yep, there you go. And since I'm going to have things wrong, I think I would test the door itself. Yes, it basically works already. For the bottom part at least. And for most of the side retraction. The top side double is not going to retract because we haven't added that yet. You can see it. Okay. That's normal. Don't worry. We'll fix that later. Quite immediately, actually. So now it works. We know that. Now we just need to go to the top. So the closing and opening sequences are extremely different, but you know, it's fine. I don't know if I even need a repeater. I haven't actually briefed this door too much, so I might forget stuff. There we go. That's the first thing I actually forgot. We want a repeater here, but we want a piston here. Now, we can do the minecart immediately from now. So, I don't know which way I'm going to do it. I might do it in a better way, but depends on people's personal thoughts. But anyways, You use normal minecart, any minecart actually. I prefer using a furnace minecart just because you don't accidentally get into it and maybe move it and stuff. Getting into minecarts isn't the best thing, so maybe I just use furnace minecart. Bye. Fences. You need fences. So, what we want here, because later we're going to have. Actually, let me just add that we're going to even use it anyways. Cobweb and a string. Here, this minecart timer is quite useful. I'll explain what it does later, if I remember. So we basically want to clip this minecart into it, and then get it into 4 blocks. This dropper, there will be an observer here later, and then these 4 blocks. And if you were to know, droppers can't be pushed, so we need to clip it and place a dropper before. So I'm just going to remove these. I'm sorry. So, oh come on! Don't place the cobweb yet. That's stupid. And now, I'm just going to place a block. I need to destroy more things. Sorry. Now you want to get a slab here. Push this up. Don't retract it. Don't. Just don't. And then push across your fence. I'm just going to destroy everything I just placed. It's fine, you know. And push this. Don't retract it because this is a sticky piston. Break the sticky piston. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Let's do that again, in case if you would forget, because I did mess up. So place the slab, push it up. Push it to here, move it, and then we can finally drop it back. There we go. Don't remove this minecart, please. Just so. Now we can replace everything we have destroyed just to place the minecarts. So this is the awkward minecart here. I do have to learn the proper way of placing this because originally I'm not placing this in a standard way basically, and I think it's simpler but it's quite weird, so I'm just doing it with the standard way. So we want an observer here, and yeah, just build this first. We're going to use it for later, and the reason I'm building this way beforehand is it's not used yet is because this Minecraft is annoying. And now the annoying part comes because you need to place this observer inside the minecart, which means you need to zero tick it, or you can just push it from above. But I'm just going to push it from the side since I already got this string here. And it's even annoying because you still have to push one more observer. So I'm just going to get it from above this time. Yep, there we go. It's not that bad actually. I do have some doors that have really annoying minecarts. This is already quite simple. Anyways, so we have this observer here, going to part 2 dust. This is going to 4 ticket this. This will get this we'll get this retraction straight away. And we'll also get this piston because okay, I should really explain it. I haven't even explained it. Anyway. So just let me place my stuff. Yep, there we go. Maybe place this observer in this one. So the closing sequence is quite simple. Uh, if only that makes sense though. We want to one tick this, power this piston only. Actually, we don't need to care about this. Power, just push this piston, and then one tick it again, and one tick this one. Now the reason for one ticking this one, because later we're just going to place the block here from this piston here. So we need it to be seamless, and it's fine for this because we have the double, and even the singles will hide it away. This is fine. What is not fine is that we absolutely have to have this block here. This is also one of the reasons why I have to redo the entire top, because I just forgot this block, and the layout has to be changed completely to a different layout, like this one. So yeah, that's why this is only. And originally, let me just give a bit of back text. Originally, this is not that, because I don't know why, but I haven't thought of this piston one ticking. And how I would eventually do it is actually with a piston here that will just push the block. And this is far more complicated than you would expect. And by accident, I don't know why, that is by accident, I found out that this is way simpler. So I just use this instead. And we'll get this move later. And we basically already got the closing done. So if you don't know what will happen, let me just reset this. This dust is going to power. Observe the text. This is going to power first. So after 1, 2, 3 ticks, this is going to one tick. You might be thinking, why can't we just have this block here? Because later we're going to have another circuit that reuses this piston. Again, this is the only input we are going to power this piston at this level. So, yep, we're going to reuse it. So it's going to one tick this after 3 ticks, and after 4, 5, 6 ticks, it would then push this piston. Like this. And then it will pull this observer back up and then power these two pistons. We don't really have to care about this. See, it's already pushed. And then it will power this piston, and which will one tick. So we are in this state. Now, you know, this state is not valid. It is not seamless. And the piston, the piston or the circuit that will fire this here will actually power this piston with a one tick. And we'll do that later. Yeah. This is actually discovered by accident. I don't know why. I never thought of this before. But I guess I'm stupid in a certain way sometimes. Okay, so we're going to get this. And the way we're going to get this is pretty standard, but some of you might not know. But so let me just explain this fairly quickly. We just want to give it a 2 tick. Nothing much. It's fine. So why do you want to give it a 2 tick? Because this is going to extend after one tick. It arrives here, and after one tick, this block will get powered, meaning that this will extend, and after another tick, this 2 tick depowers, so this will retract this piston. Oh, oops. This will retract this piston. So as this piston gets powered by this observer, and this piston will retract, while this observer will also depower. So basically it updates this piston such that this gives a 1 tick. If that makes any sense at all. I'm sorry I explained these concepts quite bad, but basically if you want to see it in action, it does this. There we go. Much more better. The piston moves explains even better than me. So you might notice that this has to retract this, and yes, we are going to retract it now by adding more observers. Don't worry, it won't power this because the piston is not going to be here. So if you were to be aware, this observer powers this piston with a 1 tick, so it does the move itself. And this is discovered by accident. I don't know why. But yeah, anyways, this does the job. Yeah, it would do the entire closing basically. Obviously, we still need to add the piston tape. And this is why the minecart comes in handy, because you're going to connect it like this. It's quite simply. This string will detect the minecart. When the minecart goes up, this will pull. Then when the minecart goes down, this will push. And the delay is just correct such that this piston is literally right here. The piston tape moves this piston right here and then gets pushed down and pushed back up. So the delay is quite important. Quite lucky actually. This is the first try. So now you'll see we don't really have that much space for the piston tape. And we're just going to power this dust. And if you realize this dust will power this dropper, power these two observers, and power this. This is the piston tape circuit actually. That's what this dropper will be used at. Yep, that's why. Yep. Good. So it is nice to get this thing done, but there are still parts of the circuit missing. The opening circuit also is here. Now, let me just give you a brief context again. So, imagine this. So the piston tape is going to fire, the piston is going to retract this is going to retract this, right? Oh wait, I actually gone this too far already. The closing circuit will power first, sorry. This will power first, pushes this down, this goes down and goes back up. Powers this piston, does nothing, and then when this pulls up, it will power this piston. Oops. And then it will pull back up. So the closing circuit basically derps the top up a little bit, but you know, it's fine. The moves are way earlier than this piston will get it, or otherwise the closing wouldn't even work. So when the piston grabs this block, this will also retract, and now we get to the opening state. So the way I did it is quite simple. 2 tick here. So you see this 2 tick powers this, and all we need to do is to add this observer, and that's why we need these 3 observers, because this 2 tick when it retracts, and after another tick it will only power this piston. That is enough delay, if that makes sense again. So yeah, so if you were to see, if we do this once, if we do this, and if we do this the second time, it will basically push this block, and then we will do the double. Just going to put this, I don't want you to mess up the piston below. Good. Now we can power the closing circuit during the closing and the opening, but we can't power the opening circuit during the closing. So we need a toggle, and we don't get a toggle from here, we get a toggle from here, like this. And we are going to have a redstone lamp. The redstone lamp will be connected later by a 4 tick, This is to make sure that the pulses have the enough delay between each other. So yep, that's it. And yeah, this is basically it for this side, I think. Now we're going to go to the other side. The other side is quite funny, basically. Yeah. First off, we are going to finish our piston tape. This is going to detect when this block is moving. We're just going to do this power sticky piston. Also, it'll power it. No, it'll power this normal piston like this. Fits into space nicely. And yeah, it fits in this space, which is quite nice. And just another context of this. Originally, this is also having an observer here, and this will basically spam this observer so many times, but it will work because for the retraction of this block, we need at least an odd number of pulses, and then it will work basically. The piston tape fires 11 times. I mean the blocks gets moved 11 times. This will power, and we'll give a double pulse to this. This double pulse, like when this piston double pulses, if you were to know, it will actually give a triple pulse. So 11 times 3 equals to 33, which is an odd number, and will actually retract this block nicely from here to here. So this is just like it before, but no, we're not going to do that now because I've improved a lot of stuff from the original design. So we're just going to use the new design, obviously, because come on, piston spamming. This is not going to be a good door. Although this door is slow enough, it can be a good door. Anyways, we're just going to start off with our hopper ROM. I always say hopper clock, I'm sorry. Yep. And then a comparator in the dust, simply. We just said that it needs to power 11 times. Yep, that's true. Therefore, the items in here are also have a stick of strength of 11. This is minimum. Okay, so this here, and then we just need to connect with 2 observers. The reason for this observer is just to not power this piston. That's okay. And remember the opening pulses? Yep, that's correct. We're just going to detect from this comparator. This comparator will power first for the closing, but this block will already be here, so don't worry. That's why the toggle is here. Because this voltage is going to give quite a bit of delay. And the opening is going to do the last. And yeah. And it will power the forward tick again, and then this time we'll do stuff. And it's better to do the opening at last because it might power something that would affect the piston moving. And yeah, it's better to do that. And in the original version, again, you must power the opening at last. But I don't know if in the new version it has to be, but you know, why not? This door is slow enough, I don't care. So yep, this observer. For the opening, if you were to remember this whole whole line of block just get pushed over. We're just going to detect this from this observer. Just do this. So because this line of blocks will get pushed over by this piston again, we need to add a toggle here. I hope that makes sense. Oh, no, we don't want this block here. We want this block. Forward tick. And we're just going to do the standard top double. Quite standard nowadays. If you don't know how this works, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for those who already know how this works. But if you don't work, then if you don't know how it works, then I'll just show you quickly. This is a standard double, and Uh, yeah, this is one tick apart because it's constant power. If it's not constant power, you need to have this. But since it's constant power, you need to have this. Good. So yeah, basically this observer will power this. So and it will also power this level. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Just give a bit of fair context for you for standard doubles even. Yeah, I think that's almost it. We just need to add some funny stuff to ticket. Run this observer here. And this. You might notice that we still haven't get this retraction, and yep, that's true. You're just going to get it from here. Now you can always get it from this, but no, the spam is too much. Just don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, I've modified this such that this and this power is exactly the same time. Because if we were to count 1 tick, 4 tick, and 5 tick, and then this pushing is actually 7 ticks. Again, this here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 ticks. So that makes the pistons insane, which is quite nice. Hopefully that makes sense again. Yes. By the way, this is 2 ticks, so just bear that in mind. If you don't know, I don't really know the reason why, but actually I do, but it's kind of hard to explain it here. So just remember that it's 2 tick delay. Let me see if nothing's missing. So, so you can see the minecart does this basically, and also does this. So I hope you learned something from this video. So let me just brief over the concepts. I might have explained it not that well. This needs as little amount of delay as possible. The reason for that is because we need this to retract. And this retracts too early, and we need to decrease the delay here. But we still need more delay for this because when this retracts, this will derp. Firstly, secondly, this is not enough delay. We need to add more delay here, so it needs as little as delay as possible, and it needs as much delay as possible. Basically, in a range that works, and I find this delay to work. So yeah, and also 8 ticks. That's also the reason why we need 8 ticks, just to delay this, because we need the observer to retract. I don't know if there's perfect amount of delay. I don't know. Yeah, I just add more delay until it works. So I don't know if that is going to. I think if you add an extra tick, it will not work already. But who knows? So, minecarts. Yep, nothing much. Yeah, just basically the top, and just to show you how a 7 wide door can become a 5 wide door. So yeah, now we can see the nice opening here. Nice. So yeah, that is it. I don't know if I explained it well, but please let me know. And if you want a full explanation for this bottom here, just go ahead and check out my 7x7 cave, honestly, because all the concepts and circuits are taken from there. And yeah, just go ahead and watch it. You do learn quite a few stuff, I guess. yeah, thanks for watching. I'll just leave the door open, uh, like after it closes fully. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll power the door and let it open. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next video.